All right, you guys, welcome to Bad Dad's Terror. Welcome back. If it's your first time, appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you guys taking the time to check out another reading here. Let's get this all cleansed up nice and smelly. Hopefully I don't choke on it again. So, getting into it, I don't know what number 3 may mean something. I know what it means, but it may have some significance to someone at the time of this reading. It also, the reason I'm saying this is there was not even a full-on storm that came through our area last night. They're supposed to be coming in the next few days, and this is a timeless reading, so there was very strong winds, and I go outside this morning and there's like foam from I don't know if it blew out of a truck or what, but then when I was out there, there was this, what are they called? Mylar balloons, those really shiny, like aluminum looking balloons that they use for birthday parties. And it was a number 3 and it was partially deflated and the wind was kind of blowing it across the very front part of our yard. And I was like, well, that's interesting. A golden number 3. So I'm going to probably see if I can find something to put into the thumbnail having to do with that. But it automatically reminded me of, as I was picking up stuff, and I was like, stay golden, Ponyboy, or whatever came to reason, which is actually a misquote. It's actually stay gold, Ponyboy, and it comes from a movie that I grew up on when I was younger. Man, I love that movie. I love the book too, but S.E. Hinton wrote a book called The Outsiders, and I think the book is from like the late 60s, but it's from the movie. The Outsiders had a lot of stars: Tom Cruise, Patrick Swayze, what was his name? C. Thomas Howell, that's what it was. C. Thomas Howell, Ralph Macchio. There's a bunch of people who really ended up being bigger in Hollywood later on. Some of them became really big stars, but it takes place in a small town, and it's like gang fights, and it's between rival societal levels. The Socs are like the preps or the rich kids or something like that, and there's the greasers, which were like the poorer kids, and they were more into the like drinking and whatever, but they were all into fighting each other over turf kind of thing, territorial kind of fights. But there weren't a lot of guns involved in that. It was mostly like fist fights, brawls, and knives were sometimes involved. But it reminded me of later, I saw that when I was really young, and then I got into high school and I became a fan of the poet Robert Frost, which is who is actually quoted in that movie, Ponyboy, which is C. Thomas Howell. He's more intellectual and kind of sensitive. I don't want to say soft, but he's kind of sensitive, and he like reads a lot, where everyone else is more like not really educated. They're just not really educated. They're more about fighting and stuff, where he's not really about that, but he does because it's what he's kind of brought into it. I think a lot of them are brothers too, if I remember right. Anyway, I'll try to include a couple of the scenes. We'll see if I can do it without getting tagged from YouTube over it. But the poem is about nothing can stay innocent. So maybe that's what this reading is about. It's about not being able to, it's like relationships. They start off really great and all love and roses and flowers and all that kind of stuff. But then as a relationship, if you stay with the person in a long term, you begin to face challenges. Or even as children, you know, we're innocent, but then we grow into adults, and you make choices in life, or you're presented with certain things in life that kind of take that innocence away. It's like nothing can stay golden is the name of the poem, actually. I'll try to include that as well when I go into doing the editing. But stay gold. Stay gold. It's like stay innocent, stay pure, stay honest. And I don't know why that is applying here, or what the golden number 3 might mean to you guys, but it's like something, maintain your innocence. Maybe you're not pure in that sense, like in virginity or something like that, but it's stay pure in your intentions. Stay, you know, keeping your highest, your highest self, as they say, your highest vibrations, if you want to go into that kind of talk as well. So it's like maintaining your innocence, or at least your honesty and purity in your intentions, keeping your intentions pure, maybe. It's like nothing stays golden. Stay gold, Ponyboy. Stay gold. Man, it's a set. I'll try to include as much as I can of those clips. It's actually Ralph Macchio is the one who gets told the poem in one scene, and then later he's in the hospital because him and his friend Ponyboy actually ran into a house that was on fire, and they saved some kids. I don't remember how the fire started or how many kids. I think there was like 2 or 3 kids that they saved out of this burning house. And it has a kind of a sad ending. So, I mean, it's, Hollywood. It was not written for Hollywood. It was written as a book. You know how that goes. But anyway, it's the hero's journey,
One morning I woke up earlier than usual. The church was colder than ever.
Golly, that was sure pretty, huh?
Yeah.
It's like the mist is what's pretty, all gold and silver.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad it can't stay like that all the time.
Nothing gold can stay.
Huh?
Nature's first green is gold. Her hardest hue to hold. Her early leaves a flower, but only so an hour. Then leaf subsides to leaf, so Eden sank to grief. So dawn goes down today. Nothing gold can stay.
Where'd you learn that? That's what I meant.
Robert Frost wrote it. I always remembered it because I never quite knew what he meant by it.
I never noticed colors and clouds and stuff till you kept reminding me about them. It's kind of like they were never there before.
Yeah. I don't think I could ever tell Steve or Two-Bit, or even Derry about the clouds and sunset. Just you and Soda Pop. Maybe Cherry Valance.
Guess we're different, huh?
Shoot, kid. Maybe they are.
Maybe you're right.
Hey, Johnny. We beat the socials, man. We chased them right out of our neighborhood. Go on.
Useless.
Huh?
Fighting ain't no good.
You know, they're still writing editorials about you in the paper, you know, about you being a hero. We're all proud of you, buddy. It's gonna be alright.
Ponyboy. Stay gold, Ponyboy. Stay gold.
Johnny, come on. So this is what you get, huh? This is what you get for helping people. Punk. Come on, Johnny, don't die. Come on. Come on, Johnny, don't die on me now. Please. Bastards!
So let's see here. What's this about? Maintaining our innocence, staying gold, staying pure in our intentions. Nobody's innocent, but you know what I mean. 1, 2. We have inspiration. Inspiration. Let me get my old man eyes. A sip of my coffee. I'll try not to make this real long, but and I'm hoping to be back to doing lives pretty soon. I've had to take some time for healing and stuff. Anyway, not everything that is faced can be changed. We've had this before, but this is very fitting. This is James Baldwin, also a poet. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. So the ability to change your mind is an incredible gift. Honor it as such. Allow yourself to change your mind about something today and fully enjoy it. So what is it I'll include myself in this. What is it that we're being faced with to change our mind about? Not everything that is faced can be changed. There's some challenges. So not everything that we do face, not everything that we, not every obstacle we come in, not in contact, but not every obstacle that we have in our life can be changed, but none of them can be changed if they're not faced. So that's basically what that's saying. Let's give us a couple of these, see where all this is going. Again, I appreciate you guys subscribing, trying to grow this channel back up from where my other channels have been in the past. And then I'll get into doing some other stuff. All right, let's do this. Mice. Number 23, the mice. We have the crescent moon, number 32. So there's a mirroring going on here, 23 and 32. Oh, there's threes. There's our threes. And then 35. The anchor. Another 3. So we have 333 in this. That's interesting. And then we have 2, 3, which would equal 5. So this is all kind of lining up there. 23 is our mice. Could be some rats in your energy. The crescent moon, that might be the period we're in right now, but it just could be something in secret. So there's a mirroring going on. Maybe you know, but you're not saying anything. You're not calling them out. You're staying in your integrity. You're staying anchored. Maybe that's what this is about. You can't change it if you don't face it, but at the same time, it's maybe choosing your battles. Is that what's going on here? You know that somebody's doing something in the background to, I don't know, sabotage you or speak ill on your name, or maybe trying to just, I don't know, maybe you have those feelings. Maybe it's just self-sabotage. Maybe it's paranoia. I don't know. That you deciding not to make any moves on what you are assuming or what your suspicions, what you're suspicious of. All right, let's see what we have here. Fertility, number 27. 3, 3, and 3 is 9. We have 27, which would be 9. The frequency of fertility invites us to be more open, more courageous, more creative, and more joyful than we were before. It activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into a new and grander expression of ourselves. So what is it that you can change? Allowing yourself to change your mind about something today and fully enjoy it. This is about growing into something more beautiful, it activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into a new and grander expression of ourselves. Maybe you're changing how you handle things, how you face things. Universal love, number 44. The frequency of universal love activates the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and to the whole of existence itself. It's compassion. At another time I'll talk about some things that I've been really kind of educating myself on, diving a little deeper into some philosophies, and not theology, but some philosophies. I'm not sure quite how I feel about some of it, but I do, non-duality humanism, or non-dualistic humanism, I guess. It's, anyway. Delight, number 19. The frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we evoke in others. So maybe that's what you're changing with this fertility. It was all about the frequency of fertility invites us to be more open, more courageous, right? More creative and more joyful than we were before. So this is, delight is experiencing the intense joy and happiness, and the more we feel that, the more we evoke that in others. Maybe it's being able to look past, like with a, looking past what is seen on the surface. That's been coming out. It's a pretty common theme in the last few readings. But it's like being able to look beyond what we see with our eyes right now. Yeah, things look pretty grim. Things look pretty bleak and dark and sometimes scary. But instead of succumbing to that, maybe deciding to see the good things, trying to still have joy without being self-delusional, without doing that. Like, you can't just ignore things like they're not happening, but at the same time you can decide, I'm not letting it tear me down. I'm still going to be joyful. I'm still going to compliment people. I'm going to show compassion. I'm not going to be what it is that I see happening in the world around me. I'm going to be the change that I would like to see in the world, kind of thing, right? Let's get us some Tarot of the Spirit. see where this takes us. So you know that something is, or you're at least suspicious that something's going on in the background. Maybe you do know, or maybe it wouldn't be there. But instead of mirroring it, you're mirroring in silence. You're mirroring where they're talking a bunch of smack, like these little rats are all kind of gathered together here and doing some gossiping, like, oh, they're all reporting back to the head rat or whatever, you know. And, excuse me, and they're going back, oh yeah, we watched them and we found out this and we found out that, and we hacked their computer, we hacked their phone, we found out that they're, excuse me, I got hiccups. That might be relevant. We're doing this, we're doing that, we've got them, we put out the rumors and we started it and whatever. Surely they're gonna fall. And you're just sitting back like, oh, I see you, but I'm mirroring the reverse back to you instead of doing exactly what you're doing. I'm going to mirror the opposite, which is what a mirror reflection is, right? It is the same, but it's the opposite. So maybe it's like, you find out somebody's talking smack about you and somebody comes to you with the rumor, and maybe that's the setup. They're coming to you like, did you know so-and-so said blah, 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 because they want to evoke anger or something in you. They want you to lash out. And your response, instead of what you may have done in the past, your response is, oh, that's too bad. I always like them. And then you mention things that you admire about the person. Not that you're lying, you're just deciding not to stoop to the level of, hey, I'm gonna, oh, that rotten, blah, 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 blah. They're saying that about me. Well, did you know this about them? And you start into the gossip as well. You avoid that. Maybe that's what you're doing here. You're like, I hate to hear that. Maybe I should talk to them because I never had a problem with them. I always admired them because of blah, blah, blah. I always appreciated the fact that they were strong. I appreciated how they were a good parent. They were a good teacher. They were a good whatever. And you compliment and you show compassion in the, well, I don't know what it is that they're going through, but I don't know why they would have a problem with me. It's probably not really about me under the surface. There's got to be something deeper bothering them. I hope they get over it. I hope they get better. I hope and you send well wishes, and then the little mice have got to go back and go, you're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this, Charlie. They didn't take the bait. Instead, they said how great of a person you were. And Charlie's going to be like, what? I don't know why I said Charlie. Maybe Charlie's relevant here. No, the star. Universal love with the star falling out on it. That's you. You're the star. You're ascending. You're rising above whatever the situation is. You're facing it. You are facing it, but that's how you changed it. Instead of facing it head on, like, well, let me go talk to Charlie and let him say that to my face. Instead of doing that, or instead of coming back with the similar response, you're instead like, well, you speak in compassion. You're like, I don't know. And then these three have got nothing, these little three that were sent out to either sabotage you or get info on you or to provoke some emotional outburst and response from you. They're all coming back and they gotta go, hey, look, he or she, they are not responding the way that you said. They're not the person that you said they are. So what's going on here? Because you're anchored. You are anchored. You're solid. You know who you are. You're here to plant seeds of love and joy and compassion and universal love, right? You understand that even if Charlie doesn't like you, even if Charlie is talking a bunch of shit about you, even if Charlie wants to see you fail, you understand that Charlie is actually part of you and you are part of Charlie. So there's still a connectedness. Regardless if Charlie sees you as an enemy, you're trying to at least grow in your mindset that I'm not his enemy. He may see me as an enemy, but I'm not he or she, I'm not their enemy. Your enemy wants to see you as an enemy, so they want you to act like they would act. Instead, you're acting the way they should be acting. You're reflecting back to them what they are lacking, which is the compassion, the maturity. You're reflecting back to them, hey, I don't have any reason to fight or hate or dislike or what. I don't have any reason for all that. I don't. Instead, I would rather speak good words. Zoroastrianism or Zarathustrianism, good thoughts, good words, good deeds. It's the tenets of that belief. To a fire, convergence. You're bringing two things, two mixing forces. Yeah, it may bother you, it may hurt you, and maybe inside you do want to lash out, but you immediately are like, no. It's like when an immovable force meets how does that go? You can let me know in the comments. I'll look it up too. But it's something about when a movable, I don't remember how that whole little thing goes, but that's what this is. It's like the convergence of two energies. It's two possibly opposite things or seemingly opposite things come into one thing to form another. So yes, your mind and your heart, your hurt and your mind, you surely can act out, but instead you converge the two, and then you speak, and you speak kindness. You reflect back kindness rather than what they're putting out there about you or what their actions are. What they do is not, what people think about you is none of your business. What people say about you is none of your business, unless they come and say it to you. You know, I've already been through that kind of stuff too, and it will cause you to self-sabotage. If you dwell on it, if you allow it to cause you anxiety or whatever else, I mean, in some cases, you really do have to stand up for yourself, especially if somebody puts your life or your family at risk or something like that. The 10 of Earth, the great work is universal love, and the star, the great work. This is you doing the spiritual alchemy or the psychological alchemy. You're taking the negativity that's being thrown at you or a negative situation, and you are alchemizing it into something positive. You can go out throughout the rest of your day knowing that you said something good. You didn't stoop to their level. You still acted in integrity and honesty, and you were the better person, for lack of a better way of saying it, because you don't want to think of yourself in that way, but you are in this situation. So not everything that is faced can be changed. You can't change Charlie's opinion, even if these three go back and try to tell Charlie what you said. You can't change their opinion about you, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. So you could have ignored it or whatever even, but instead you decided, that's too bad. I always liked them. I don't know why they feel that way about me. It's too bad. Still waters, be still and know that I am God, right? Within yourself. This is you being still and knowing that God, source, the all, is existent within you. You are a vessel of truth and light and love, universal love and delight and fertility. That's what you're here to do. That's what you're here to do. I like that. Let's get a couple of clarifiers and then in this, because I'm going to have to go find those clips. Put those together and add them in here. 3 of Wind, recognition. So through this convergence, the 3 of Wind, these 3 mice, the wind can be communication. This can be these 3 little mice going back and giving you recognition for, hey Charlie, this person is not who you said. They are not like you said they are. Want of water, they're an open channel. As a matter of fact, they spoke kindness and compassion and love and had nothing but good things to say about you. They were actually, I could see it on their face. They were hurt by what you said, or we could see it on their face. They were hurt by what you said or what you tried to get us to do. And Father Water, emotional maturity. You've got because you have brought what was unconscious to the consciousness. That's individuation in the terms of Carl Jung. You brought what you've been trying to train yourself as, what you've been trying to constantly give yourself positive affirmations, not just about yourself, but about who you are and how you are and how you present yourself to the world. You've been working on that internally, and you've brought that out into the external. So you faced the shadow, which is not a bad thing, but you faced the shadow and you brought what was in the dark out into the light, which was the compassion that you want to feel. You figured out how to bring that out into the physical realm and be compassionate, be loving, regardless of what people have to say about you or how they view you. Doesn't matter. You're doing the great work. Glory, 6 of fire. The star receives glory because of universal love and doing the great work. That's glory, glory, hallelujah. Anyway, Mother Earth, you're grounded, you're anchored, and she's in this water. So Mother Earth is in this water. She's grounded in her emotions, in her subconscious, in her, it can go into psychic, spiritual powers or whatever. It can be all of that as well. But these flowers, we're coming up on the flower moon at the time of this reading. Not coming up on it, but that will be the next full moon at the time of this reading. So that may have some significance as well. And the sun, daggone, man, come on. You're doing exactly what you need to do. The sun is going to, the star, the sun, the glory, the doing the great work, all of this brings you into delight. We're all going to have bad days, but even me being, consider myself more of a solemn type of person, deep thinker. I used to be able to, be kind of the, I don't want to say life of the party, but I could be fun, I still can be fun. Beauty, look, on the bottom of the deck here. I still can be fun or whatever, and I can still be humorous. Ask the people who've been longtime followers of mine. We have fun in my lives, and we cut up and joke and all that kind of stuff. But I would rather be around somebody who is happy and joyful in life, even if they, like Robin Williams, let's say. I brought him up before. He was a fantastic comedian, made people laugh. That's what he lived for, is to make people laugh and to make them smile. But he was hurting so deeply inside that a lot of people didn't know. Sometimes the greatest comedians, those who present so much joy, it's because they are trying to do the opposite of what they feel inside. So they're trying to be on the external, they're trying to present themselves to the world and make a change in the world that they would like to see change within themselves. So if you are feeling fearful or miserable or depressed or whatever, not saying to fake it, be authentic, but you can try to, if you need some joy, be some joy for someone else. If you feel unloved, then try to show some love to others. If you need some compassion, try to, give a little bit, that kind of, what you give is what you get, or what you get, what you give, or something like that. One of fire. There's lots of 1s and 3s in this whole reading here, but we have the force. You are going to be a force to be reckoned with, not in a, ooh, I'm going to tear them down, not in that way, but in a, the fire. You're going to inspire people. You're going to, this is getting into that creative energy. This is a new creative spiritual aspect of yourself, and that's what you're moving into. That's fantastic. The magician, what are you creating? Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. The ability to change your mind, the magician, the ability to change your mind is an incredible gift. Honor it as such. Allow yourself to change your mind about something today and fully enjoy it. This is a lot of reinventing of the self. I've got another reading about, the resurrection, reinventing of the self as I'm saying that. Converging the masculine and feminine into the higher self, the higher perspective. Man, come on. This reading has been fantastic. I really enjoyed this one. Let's get us some angels and ancestors, and then we'll move on. Stay gold. Stay gold. That's what this is about. Stay gold, Pony Boy. Not everything can stay golden, right? Or not everything golden can stay. Not everything can remain pure and innocent and whatever. But you know what? You can change things. You can change. The resurrection is a change. This is the sun, the convergence of the masculine and feminine in your subconscious. The star, glory. Man, there's some great cards that came out of this. See this as being a super positive reading, even though there might be some people in the background wanting to talk smack. Could be family, could be friends, co-workers, maybe even strangers that you don't even know. Your suspicions, don't let them eat you up. Even if you have proof of what's going on, face it in whatever way, but be the bigger person. Not always fun being the bigger person, but come from the higher, take the higher road kind of advice. Let's see what we do have as advice here. Let me get a couple more shuffles out of this deck and see what it has as advice. Angels and ancestors. Let's see. This reading. Let's see what that was. I won't be keeping it because it fell out on the floor. The sun. Enjoy success and happiness. Changing your mindset. That's what this big change is. That's the thing that you're having to face is your mindset. Changing your mind, the ability to change your mind is an incredible gift. Enjoy success and happiness. That's what that sun card come flying out for. And we had the sun over here. Enjoy happiness and success. Decide that's where you're going to be at. Again, don't be foolish and act like you're blind to the negative stuff that's going on in the world. You don't have to reflect back to the world what the world is reflecting to you, right? You can be the change that you want to see. Not to be all cliche and corny, but I think one more after this. One more shuffle here. All right, Spirit, what do we have? Joy, success, and happiness. That was it. Let's see what we have. Wrap this reading up. Let's give see what the whole reading's about. Stay gold, Pony Boy. Stay gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Wise one. Grow within your current situation. Come on. Within your current situation, grow. That's what this is all about. Growth, spiritual, and again, emotional maturity. Wise one, where you at here? And then I'll read it. Wise one, 88. Lots of 44, 88. We got the 20, the 10 here, and then we got the 333s. Got lots of number synchronicities if you're into that. My son thinks that's foolishness, but sometimes I see it. See what we have here. Grow within your current situation. Knuckle down. Be reliable and committed. Sorry about the shaking. It's too much coffee, maybe. Be reliable and committed. Be open to wisdom and insights from your elders. The wise one represents the wisest aspect of the goddess, the crone. In paganism and modern Wicca, the crone is the fiercest, most psychic, and most aware aspect of the goddess because she has been through many of life's challenges and overcome many setbacks. Right? She didn't change all of them, but she faced them. All right, on this card, the raven in her hands represents the capacity to overcome the darker times and be reborn again and again. Resurrection. It's the rebirth. I mean, there is another card. It's a rebirth, but reborn again and again. So she helps you to tap into wisdom and to overcome whatever life throws at you. Come on, man. Wisdom being the information stored in your soul rather than the knowledge acquired in this lifetime, and to learn from the experience of your elders. Don't be afraid to take advice from someone. It doesn't necessarily have to be actually someone older than you, but someone who may have more experience in certain things than you. You know, it doesn't matter how old you are. If you never dealt with addiction or known people that were addicts, then you may not know how to handle a situation with an addict. So you may have to listen to someone who has been there or has dealt with that situation. That's just an example. Maybe that's relevant, but the wisdom of the wise one is based on something that the younger generation is often lacking: commitment and reliability. When this card appears, you are being guided to continue working on your growth and expansion within your current situation. Be committed to your task and projects. It can be very easy to get bored or overwhelmed, but persevere. You're being reminded of how it feels to be let down and experience unreliability, or people talking smack about you behind your back, but stay anchored, right? That's what this whole thing is saying. All right, so you're being reminded of how it feels to be let down and experience unreliability. Sorry. And that is not who you were born to be. So keep working on what you're working on, because it's going to be extremely beneficial for you in the long run. And that's why the sun card flew out. Not the sun in the tarot, but the sun in this oracle flew out, and it said enjoy success and what was it? Oh, where you at? Sun card. It said enjoy success and happiness. Was that right? I think that's what it said. Yeah, enjoy success and happiness. So that was the card that flew out on its own. All right, guys. Looks like your time is coming. I don't know what that means necessarily, but I'm not trying to here to give you fluff and stuff readings. I'm not here to blow smoke up your ass. I'm here to tell you the truth. And right now I feel like if you maintain in your maturity, be the bigger person. Don't know, it doesn't always feel good to do that, but sometimes you don't really have a choice. But nothing can change unless it's faced, but not everything that's faced can be changed. Anyway, thank you guys for being here, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a great whatever, day, night, morning, breakfast, dinner, smoke break, weekend, year, month, birthday, anniversary. I don't know what it is that you're having, but have a good one. Later.